Hey guys, welcome to the channel Cooking with Rich, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to do something different. We are going to do one of my family's all-time favorites, eggplant lasagna. And this isn't any kind of lasagna like, you just add eggplant to it. We are going to be frying up the eggplant and using the fried eggplant in place of the pasta. Something I've been doing now for about 10 years. Family absolutely loves it. So let's get started. But before I get started, I'm going to be upfront and honest. If you guys are into having a nice clean kitchen, this is not probably going to work for you. Get dirty. You're going to make a mess with this. It's okay, because in the end, it's worth it. So here we have a beautiful ripe eggplant. So let's get started. I am just going to cut the top off. Then I am going to cut the bottom off. Throw it on my garbage bag there. And then we are just going to peel it. I like to peel the skin off of my eggplant when I make fried eggplant. Not everybody does. If you like the skin, keep it on. Just skip this step. Go right to the next step. But I've been taking off the skin from my eggplants forever. And again, I'm just really not a fan of the skin. Don't care for the texture, but hey, if you do, you do you. That's what the kitchen is all about. All right, so eggplant is skinned. And another thing, you can cut this by hand, which I do. You can use a meat slicer. You can use a mandolin. Whatever you like, you use. One thing I will tell you is once you cut this, you want to put this into an egg wash so it doesn't discolor. So let's start cutting these guys. And I like to slice these fairly thin, 1/8 of an inch. I don't want them to fall apart by any means, but I want them to be thin. Like I said, we're going to be making a lasagna out of them once they're fried, and we're going to be layering it with the meat and the cheese and the sauce and things like that. So, again, we're just cutting these somewhat thin. Nothing too crazy. And right into the egg wash so it does not discolor. And if you mess up and slice a piece and it's only half, just fry it up anyway, because when you're making these layers, you might need a small piece. So rather than cutting them, you already have it. And there we have it. Fairly simple, not a big deal. Now, when I bread my eggplant, I do two things. One, I have really big containers that I love to use. It makes life so much easier. So, again, all my eggplant is in the mixture, in my egg and milk mixture. One piece at a time, I take it, throw it into my breadcrumb, done. And again, it's just easier this way because I have a rather large plastic container, which I use to do all of my breading, and I do all my breading like this. My chicken cutlets, my veal cutlets, anything I'm breading, this is exactly how I do it. It's just super, super easy. The one thing I will tell you, you might remember from my other videos, I use a seasoned breadcrumb, but to my seasoned breadcrumb, I always add extra salt, extra pepper, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, a little bit of garlic. I also put in some more parsley and some more oregano. I just like the dredge to be really flavorful. And again, you can see how quick this goes. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. It's messy, yes. I make a mess out of the kitchen, but when I'm done, I clean it up, and everybody's enjoying the meal anyway, so I'm guessing the mess is okay at that point. But I'll clean it up as soon as I'm done, and that's how I do this. So again, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just about done with these, to be quite honest. And in all honesty, I've also already fried up a bunch, because when I make eggplant lasagna, I make 3, 4, 5 of them, small trays at a time, so I can actually just put them in the freezer. And then when I'm in the mood for eggplant lasagna, we'll pull one out, put it right in the oven, and you have a beautiful cooked eggplant lasagna. So let me just finish these 4 more pieces and I will be right back. See you in a bit. Welcome back. So now we're going to do some frying up of this eggplant. I have my oil set, it's probably about 375 degrees. Not too hot. I don't want to burn the oil as I'm doing this. Use any oil you like. I'm actually using canola oil. I think it fries really well. A lot of people I know like to use olive oil. Use whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to use the canola because I think using olive oil for something like this, not that it's a waste, but I have such better uses for my olive oil, than, frying something up. Really important. When you get ready to fry, have everything accessible. You want salt. Anytime you bring anything out of a fryer, you always want to salt it. No matter what you're frying, you always want to hit it with some salt. It's the perfect opportunity. When you bring this eggplant out, it's sucking things in. So if you hit it with that salt, it's going to bring it in, and it's just going to flavor it amazing. I also keep a paper towel around because, like I said, this is messy. If I can, keep it somewhat cleaner, so be it. I also have a pan. And on my pan, I have, paper towel. So as it comes out of the oil onto my paper towel, hit it with some salt, move on. And again, it's really not that big of a deal. It's a little messy, it's a little time consuming, and this is just one step in the many steps to make this eggplant. But I'll take you through all of them, and I will actually put the recipe in the description down below. So let's get started. So frying these guys up, and normally once they get a little brown on the edges, it's normally when you just want to take a fork and carefully flip it. Always flip it away from you so you don't splash yourself. That's kind of important. You don't really want to hurt yourself while you're cooking. This is supposed to be somewhat fun. Everybody gets burned in the kitchen, everybody gets cut in the kitchen, but we still come back and do this every single day. So let's get these guys fried up. I'll show you what they look like. I'm not going to bore you with going through the whole batch I have here. I'm just going to fry these up, add them to the batch I already have made up. And when we get, when I get back to you guys, we will actually start building the lasagna. So I will see you guys as soon as we're done. Alright, so we are back. I am done frying up the eggplant, and when you're done, you have something that looks similar to this. A beautiful, beautiful tray to fry an eggplant. So, here's everything that we're going to do. I have my sauce. And if you remember my video for the Sunday sauce, whenever I make sauce on a Sunday, I always make twice as much so that I can freeze quarts of sauce, and I can always have it for whenever I need it. So I took 2 quarts out, heated it up, done. Over here, I have my ground beef, which is seasoned, garlic, salt, pepper, parsley. What else do I have in there? Oregano. I have my ricotta cheese mixture, which I put in 3 eggs, fresh parsley, fresh oregano, salt, pepper, garlic. Keep it in the fridge. And another thing we have is some of my fresh basil off of my window ledge. So let's get started. First thing I do, I have these little quarter trays, and perfect size to make this, freeze it, and take it out whenever you want it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of your Sunday sauce on the bottom, mix it around a little bit, make sure it covers the whole bottom. And I'm going to make 3 at a time here. All right, that's 2 and 3. And use as much or as little sauce as you like. I kind of like it a little bit on the drier side. I like my lasagna, whether it's regular lasagna or an eggplant lasagna, I kind of like it to hold its form when you cut that piece and pull it out. So to that, now we are going to put in some eggplant. And normally 4 or 6 pieces will cover the bottom. And just like that. So we're going to do that across. Get them all done. Okay. And done. To that, I am going to add a teaspoon, not a teaspoon, but a serving spoon of that meat mixture. And you can use any kind of ground meat you want. You can use turkey, you can use chicken, you can use pork sausage, you can do anything. I actually like a combination of the beef and turkey. From there, need one more scooper. Once you get that, now we're going to add our ricotta cheese mixture. And for those of you wondering what I am saying when I say ricotta, I'm Italian, I'm from New York. This is actually what everybody else seems to call ricotta. We just don't call it that. And I'm going to put 2 nice scoops in each. Flatten it out, mix it up a touch. Like so. And then we are going to start building again. So from there, I'm going to go with a little more sauce. And again, use as much or as little as you want when you do this. You know, it's what you like is what you do. So then we're going to build a second tier here. And I normally make three tiers. Actually, the one thing I did forget is my shredded mozzarella. So let's go on and put those in before we put the eggplant back on. Because the one thing about a lasagna, it's got to be cheesy. Okay, so that's there. Let's do this one. And I have some freshly grated mozzarella cheese here. And again, I use a lot. Okay, so back to this. Let's get the eggplant back in. We are going to add our meat mixture again. Going to get that all nice and even. We're going to put in our ricotta cheese again. And again, this is, I mean, you do everything ahead of time. It's so much easier. Let's get that moved around. Okay. From there, a little more cheese. As you can see from the amount of cheese, this isn't the healthiest dish by any means, but grew up Italian in New York and this is what you're eating. All right, let's finish this off now. I'm just gonna put the last layer of eggplant, push it down a little bit. From there, we're gonna top this with a little fresh basil and some more sauce. All right, so here's the sauce. And when I'm doing the top layer, I do add a little extra sauce because I want everything actually covered here before I put the tops on. And I'm not going to be cooking these in the oven. For the most part, everything is ready to go. I'm actually going to put a top on these guys, and I'm going to put them in the freezer until I want them. In the mood for lasagna? Pull it out. Okay, from there, let's add some fresh ground parmesan. And now let's grab some of this basil and throw a couple of leaves over the top. Always looks nice. Let's see what else I got here. I got some really big leaves here. And we are actually done. So I will hold one up for you, show you what they look like. And I'm going to go with a little extra basil. So this is what you're going to look like when all said and done. These things weigh a ton now. We're going to put tops on them. We are going to label them. And we are going to freeze these guys and use them at a later date. So like I said, you know, the amount of work you're going to put into this, make a few of them so that you can freeze these guys. And if you wanted to make this today, you pop it in an oven, 350 degrees, 45 minutes, it is done. And you will absolutely love this. So, like I always say, don't be afraid to cook. Get in the kitchen. Try different things. If this inspires somebody to try this, great. If this isn't your cup of tea, try something different. Again, there's no mistakes in your own kitchen. You cook what you want to cook. So for my kitchen to yours, I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week. And check back often. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment. I answer all my comments. And I'll see you guys at our next video. So long.